judges. Now I want to tell you a story. The title of the story is called Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived an unhappy young girl. Her mother was dead, and her father had married a widow with 2 daughters. Her stepmother didn't like her one little bit. Her kind thoughts and loving touches for her own daughters. Nothing was too good for them. Dresses, shoes, delicious foods, beds, and every home comfort. But for the poor girl, there was nothing at all. No dresses, all her stepsisters' hand-me-downs. No lovely dishes, nothing but scraps. No rest and no food. She had to work hard all day. Only when evening came was she allowed to sit for a while by the fire near cinders. That's why everybody called her Cinderella. One day, beautiful new dresses arrived at the house. A ball was to be held at the palace, and her stepsisters were getting ready to go. Cinderella didn't even dare ask if she could go too. She knew very well what the answer would be. You're staying at home to wash the dishes, scrub the floors, and turn down the beds for her stepsisters. They'll come home tired and very sleepy. Cinderella sighed. Oh, dear, I'm so unhappy. Cat said, and the cat murmured, meow. Suddenly, something amazing happened. As Cinderella was sitting all alone, there was a burst of light, and a fairy appeared. Don't be alarmed, Cinderella, said the fairy. I know you would love to go to the ball, and so you shall. How can I, dressed in these rags? Cinderella replied. The servants will turn me away. The fairy smiled, and with a flick of her wand, Cinderella found herself wearing the most beautiful dress she had ever seen. Now for the coach. Bring me a pumpkin, quick! A real lady would never go to a ball on foot. Oh, of course, said Cinderella, rushing. The fairy turned to the cat. You, cat, bring me 7 mice, and remember, they must be alive. Cinderella soon came back with the pumpkin and the cat with the 7 mice he had caught in the cellar. With a flick of the magic wand, the pumpkin turned into a sparkling coach, and the 6 mice turned into 6 white horses, while the 7 mice turned into a coachman wearing a smart uniform and carrying a whip. Cinderella could hardly believe her eyes. Cinderella had a wonderful time at the ball until she heard the first stroke of midnight. She had remembered what the fairy had said, and without a word of goodbye, she slipped from the prince's arm and ran down the steps. As she ran, she lost one of her slippers, but not for a moment did she dream of stopping to pick it up. If the last stroke of midnight were to sound, oh, what a disaster that would be! Out she fled and vanished into the night. The prince picked up the slipper and said to the ministers, Go and search everywhere for a gold of the girl in the land until only Cinderella was left. How can that ugly girl be at the ball? Snapped stepmother. Tell the prince he ought to marry one of my two daughters. Can't you see how ugly Cinderella is? But to everyone's amazement, the shoe fitted perfectly. Suddenly, a fairy appeared and waved her magic wand. In a flash, Cinderella appeared in a splendid dress, shining with youth and beauty. Her stepsisters and stepmother gasped at her amazement. And the minister said to her, "Come with us now, Cinderella. The prince is waiting for you." So Cinderella married the prince and lived happily ever after. As for the cat, he just said, "Meow." The end.